Hey guys and dolls, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a pretty big haul. This is stuff that I've been saving up pretty much all summer. I've bought things here and there and I just haven't shared them with you guys just because I haven't done a haul video. And now I finally am going to be sharing it. It's like almost embarrassing how much stuff I have to share. It's pretty bad, but keep in mind some of this stuff I bought as far back as May, so yeah. The other thing I want to mention is that I am kind of sick right now. I'm not like sick technically, but we went to a concert last weekend and it was very smoky and dusty and it was just a lot for my lungs to handle, and so both me and Michael have a really bad case of just allergies and hay fever, and it's not good. So thought I would share that with you guys, that I'm a little under the weather, so I don't even know if you guys will be able to hear it, but anyway. I want to share with you my dry shampoo story. So for a while there, I've had this Tresemme dry shampoo and I've been not buying another dry shampoo because I wanted to work through it, even though I really don't like this. I just find that whenever I use this, it does feel like less, initially when you first spray it in, it's less powdery than like a Batiste type dry shampoo, which to me this is kind of like a very traditional type dry shampoo. And what I liked about this is that it didn't have that white color to it, but it kind of would like make my hair feel almost like sticky and it would like clump together. So when I tried to style it in that second day, it would kind of just like lay all together and lay flat, and it was just, and not like my hair is like straight and flat today, but it has like a little bit of like lightness to the feel of it, whereas this just felt awful and I hated it. So I've been trying to work through it and finally I just was like, I can't take this anymore. So I decided to go ahead and go back to my Batiste, which I really like, and the thing is for me with this one is that it's very white when you spray it out. Now of course you want to be careful and not spray too much because then it can be really hard to get the white look out of it. The way that I use this is I spray it in my hair, you know, at the roots wherever I'm going to need it. Typically I'll spray it in like here at the crown and then also like in the back of my hair, like along the sides if it feels kind of oily and gross there. And then I will let it sit for about 5 minutes and then I'll brush it through to get rid of the whiteness. The other thing I do recommend with these ones that are a little bit more whiter is to go ahead and use them at night instead of trying to use them in the morning, because I find that when you just try to put it in the morning and never, I mean sometimes it works out, but generally speaking it's easier to just spray it in a little bit at night and then wake up with hair that doesn't have that whitish powdery look to it. Alright, so the next thing that I picked up from Ulta is the NYX Macaroon lipsticks. I went ahead and picked up a couple more colors. Now you guys saw me use the yellow shade Citron in my Sunset Ombre Lips tutorial. I couldn't think of the name for a sec. But anyway, I really like these lipsticks. I think that for the price, they're certainly fantastic. For me, I think I would almost prefer them to be a little bit more pigmented or maybe even a little bit drier, just because they are a little bit more of an emollient lipstick, meaning that they're a little bit more slippery. And so when they don't have a lot of color to balance out that slipperiness, it can sometimes end up looking sheer because when you go over it, it starts to kind of wipe itself away. However, with that said, I still think that for the price they're good, and there's some colors that are better than others. So like for instance, this one here is called Earl Grey. It's a pastel grayish blue. This one's incredibly pigmented, as is also Pistachio is wonderfully pigmented. Really great colors. You do want to make sure though that your lips are not chapped at all when you put them on, because sometimes they are a little bit, you know, they can still have that skippiness to them, but that's kind of true with any kind of pastel lipstick. This one here, Violet, is absolutely gorgeous, but as you can see, there's a little bit of skippiness in with the color, and I swatched these all the same. I went with, you know, 1, 2, 3 passes to make sure they were fully opaque. This one, Black Sesame, is also pretty smooth, but it's a little bit on the sheer side, but just due to the nature of the color, it doesn't show as much, but it doesn't look patchy, so it's sheer but not patchy. So overall, I really like these, and I definitely think that they're worth $5.99, especially if you can find them on sale like I did. So this next product I want to share with you is from OPI. This is Do You Have This in Stockholm? I love their names. This is from their Nordic nail polish collection. I forget the name of the, I think it's just Nordic collection, but anyway. I really love this color. I love a nice, like, intense but kind of cool toned purple. I think it goes really well with my overall coloring. I know that when I wear a red based purple nail polish on my hands, it makes the skin on my hands look really ruddy. Yeah, really beautiful color. I think it's really great for fall. I've been into like the cooler colors for fall lately, so this is definitely one of my new favorites. Another thing I want to mention is that the formula on this is awesome. It goes on really smooth. You only need 2 coats. It just barely need 2 coats at that. and it's self-leveling and it dries fast, and I love it. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is a set of like press-on nails that I bought. I buy these every now and then, and I don't even know why I do it because I almost never actually put them on, but they're so cool that I couldn't resist. The House of Holland, this is the Blockheads kit. They look basically like Legos on your nails, and it's not something that I'm probably gonna wear all the time. I mean, obviously you kind of get one wear out of them, so I may wear them for like a feature tutorial or something like that, or maybe if I do a photo shoot, something kind of silly. And they were $9.99, which, you know, maybe is not the best way to use $10 on something that I may or may not use, but it's one of those things that you can't replicate otherwise. And you know, if this was just a design or something, I could maybe paint them on a nail, but because they actually look like little Lego blocks, it was so cool I had to pick it up. Okay, so the next item I want to talk to you guys about is a liner from Prestige. This is one of their Total Intensity eyeliners, and the color is called Powerful Purple, so let's go ahead and give me a little swatcherino. Here we have it next to my little stain swatch. This eyeliner is a really deep eggplant or aubergine, whichever terminology you want to use. One thing I really like about this is that the color is very similar to Urban Decay's Rockstar liner. It's maybe a little bit darker than that, but it blends out more beautifully than Rockstar. And don't get me wrong, Rockstar is one of my all-time favorite eyeliners. But you know, with the Urban Decay eyeliners, sometimes you go to smudge them out and they smudge away too much if you catch them when you first put them on. I feel like with this one, it blends away a little bit more evenly overall, and also it's way, way, way cheaper. So if you're looking for a really great alternative to Rockstar eyeliner, which again, iconic, love it, but if I can find it for like $5.99, you know, what are you gonna do? So the next items that I want to share with you is actually a collection of palettes from Physicians Formula. This is their matte collection palettes. I found out about these from another YouTuber, and I went out and bought them immediately, and I tried them out, and I do like them. The eyeshadows are silky, they blend well, but I do find that they fade fast, which is kind of unfortunate, and I hate it when I buy a drugstore item and I'm not over the moon with them. But I also want to say that I haven't tested them out extensively, and when I was testing them out, it was in the height of August when it was really hot. So now that it's fall, I'm going to give them another chance. I'm going to test them as though I haven't, you know, with no prejudgment. I'm going to try them out again, and I'll probably review these for you guys perhaps sometime in November, because with Halloween coming and everything, I don't want to promise a review right away. So it's a collection of 3 matte quads. They're all like neutral type colors. There's this one here, which is probably the most like neutral. It's not too warm or too cool. Then there and it's called Canyon Classics. Then we have Canyon Nudes, which is a little bit more on the warm side. Lots of MAC dupes with these, and Quartz Quartet is the cooler, or the coolest of the 3. Interesting. I do like them, and I you know, my initial reaction to them was that they were not as good as some of my high-end, but certainly they're some of the better eyeshadows that I've tried from drugstore. So that's what I will say at this point. And again, I'll try them out more and do a more thorough review coming up later. The next item I want to share is something that I actually forgot when I was talking about the lippies, and it is the NYX Lip Primer. I've been looking for a drugstore lip primer because you guys know I always use the MAC Prep and Prime Lip, but that's $14. I think last time I bought it was $14. You know, MAC, they jack up their prices like every year. So with my look, it's probably like $15 or $16 by now. But anyway, it's my favorite. It's always what I use whenever I buy it. I buy multiples, so I always have a stock of it. I use it in my kit because it really helps smooth out the lips and makes lip colors last longer and all that nice neat stuff. However, it's expensive, and I want to be able to find a cheaper alternative. So I am trying out right now the NYX Lip Primer. I'm going to probably discuss this in my monthly faves video because I have been testing it a little bit. What I will tell you right now is that I do like it. It does have a very faint vanilla type smell, which is pleasant. I can't. Why did I even try to smell it? I'm all stuffed up. I can't smell anything. Force of habit, right? So anyway, the one thing I have noticed though is that it does make my lipstick more matte when I put it on top. So actually, maybe I should try this with the macaroon lipsticks and see if like the mattification will kind of like suck some of the moisture out of these and give them more pigmentation. I sense an experiment coming. We're going to go ahead and move on to the stuff that I got from Sephora before I move on to the Charlotte Tilbury stuff. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is a little pencil crayon thing from Makeup Forever. This is called the Aquamatic. You guys saw me use this in my Neon Navy tutorial. It's that beautiful, bright, iridescent chartreuse. Can we talk about it? It is just gorgeous. Now, one thing I noticed about this is that when it dries down, it's very dry. So in that respect, it reminds me more of like a MAC shade stick than the, you know, types of these eyeliner crayon things that have come out, like this one from Milani, the Shadow Eyes, or the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils, or this one from Jordana. A lot of companies have come out with these like chunky pencil eyeshadow, cream eyeshadow things that are waterproof, but MAC shade sticks were a little bit different in that they were much drier. So this is a lot like that. It's very dry when it dries down. It's very waterproof. I'm sure you could jump in a pool, you could take a shower with this on, and it wouldn't come off because you do need makeup remover to take it off. It also has a sharpener at the bottom, which is kind of cool, so you can kind of, you know, shave it down and get a little bit more of that rounded tip again. I don't know if I want to do that because it wastes product. I just got that all gross. Great. The other thing about this is that because it dries down, it's not very creamy, it doesn't blend out very well. So this is more, I think, for precise placement, or if you're gonna blend it out, you gotta put it on and blend it out right away. So you kind of gotta work quickly with it. You're like, it makes me stressed out. But anyway, that is the Aquamatic pencil. I do like it. It was kind of expensive. I think it was like $21, which is why I chose to get one of the more unique colors as opposed to getting some of like the taupey colors or black or purple or something that so many other companies have come out with, particularly the Milani ones. I just had it in my hand, I can't find it. There you go. The Milani ones are really fantastic. They work just as good as any of the other companies, and they're way, way cheaper. So that would be my go-to for that type, unless you're getting a unique color. Okay, so this next thing I picked up last May, and I was intending to show it to you guys, and I just kind of got away from me. So this is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is 1.7 ounces, and it's $41, which is pretty expensive for a liquid illuminizer, but Becca is a new brand to Sephora, and I saw it, and I thought it was so beautiful. This comes in 3 colors. The shade that I got is called Moonstone. Let me go ahead and do a little squeeze of that for you guys so you can see. That is, of course you can't see what it looks like really there, but if I kind of blended it, you can see that it's a shimmery gold color. Now, one thing I like about this is that when you blend it in, it gives the skin a really nice glow, but it's not too frosty. It just makes your skin look really, really dewy and glowy. Another thing that I really like about this is that even though it's a liquid highlighter, I can put it over my foundation and it tends to not disturb it. Typically when I use a liquid type highlighter, it does kind of make my foundation look funny, and I'm not saying that I haven't used this and had problems, but generally speaking, if I apply it like right after I've done my liquid foundation and put this on top, it looks gorgeous. You can also put this underneath your foundation before you apply it or mix it in. It is really fantastic. Nothing that's really cool about this is it has sunscreen. It has SPF 25. Don't rely on that as your only sunscreen because you're probably not going to, you know, apply enough of this to actually be your sunscreen. But it's kind of cool that they included that. You know, they didn't have to do that. And yeah, I overall really like it. Whether or not I think it's worth the $41, yes, I kind of do, but I'm aware that it's a luxury product, so I'm not like thinking it's some great value. And then the other thing that I like about this is that it doesn't feel greasy. Sometimes when I wear, you know, a liquid highlighter or something like this, it can feel like a little too heavy. Another thing too is that a lot of highlighters tend to look kind of chunky or frosty on the skin, and this one's very smooth in texture, so I do think that it's a refined product. It's certainly, you know, worth, I guess it is worth the $41 if a liquid luminizer is something that you're going to use all the time. Okay, so the next couple of things I want to share with you are from Charlotte Tilbury. As you guys know, I had that set that was sent to me by Beautylish, and I loved it, so I wanted to check out more products from Charlotte Tilbury, so when they launched online, I was like, okay, it's my birthday this month, I'm just going to splurge and go crazy, but happy birthday to me! So here's some of the things I got myself. So the first is the Film Star Bronze and Glow. I'm really excited about this. I've heard so many great things about it. The packaging and presentation is so exciting. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So here you go. Here is the packaging. First of all, it opens up like this. How freaking cool is that? And it has a little Charlotte Tilbury logo. And then it says, this is a secret that silver screen sirens have kept to themselves for years. And then it opens up, and then it has a little information about highlight and sculpting, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the product. Then we get to the actual palette itself. Can we have a discussion about how intensely beautiful this packaging is? I wish all of her packaging looked like this, honestly and truly. After seeing this, I'm almost disappointed with what everything else looks like, and I think that it was beautiful to begin with, but this, oh my god. So it looks like an old cigarette case, but of course it doesn't hold something carcinogenic. It holds sculpting and highlight powder. I really love how the line work from the outside is continued onto the inside, and inside you have the sculpt and highlight powder as well as a beautiful mirror and the little star logo. Sorry, there's fingerprints all over this. I do use it. What you have here is you have the highlight powder, which is a beautiful champagne type gold. It's a little frosty for me for every day. This isn't something I can use every day because it's very, very glowy, and just, you know, for every day I don't really need like a super frosted highlight. I do like something that has a little bit of a glow or like very lightly pearlescent, but I just don't really, and that's where this like Becca illuminator comes into play. This is, you know, again, like that really refined texture, whereas I was really disappointed to see that this is just a little bit more on the frosty side. Now I will say that it's not as frosty and chunky as like a MAC mineralized skin finish, you know, those ones that were like really, really frosty and chunky and stuff. It's not like soft and gentle. It's not like super frost, but it's a little more frosty than I tend to like. Now the sculpt powder in here is not actually a matte, but it has like a little bit of a pearlescent look to it, which is a little bit more naturalistic to the way that skin looks. Like a very matte bronzer used as a contour can sometimes look a little bit dirty. This is that it's more warm toned than gray toned, and I tend to prefer one that has a little bit of gray tone in it. Like my kind of go-to everyday have to have it bronzer color or contour color is the NYX, oh I'm holding too many things, the NYX Taupe Blush. This is my favorite go-to contour color. I think it looks fantastic and it works on a lot of different people. This is a little bit warmer, so it's a little bit different for me to get used to it. I actually applied it today and really liked it. I did also buy the Powder and Sculpt brush at the same time I purchased this. This to me, it's supposed to be this amazing brush. It's great for using it. I do find that when I apply the contour with this, it goes on kind of patchy versus when I use my favorite contouring brush, which is the Inglot 4SS. This is still my favorite, so even after I've bought this brush, which is much more expensive, it is supposed to be fantastic. I'm not impressed with this brush from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the first thing that I've got that I'm really just like not really into. The hairs keep breaking off. It does have a very fine tip, but there's just a few hairs there on the end, so it's not like it's really shaped well. It's just that there's not a lot there. So this is kind of, you know, your pointed egg-shaped brush. I'm looking at it in the viewfinder. It looks great. It's not super scratchy, but it's not very soft. Anyway, I'm over-explaining it, but basically for contour, I still prefer this one from Inglot versus this one from Charlotte Tilbury. So that's kind of disappointing because this was a $50 brush, and I don't really think that it was worth it, to be honest with you. The next items that I picked up from Charlotte Tilbury are 3 more of the lipsticks. I really, really like the texture and just the packaging and everything for the red one that they sent me. So I decided to go ahead and get some ones that I would wear on a more regular basis. And so the first one that I'm going to share with you is the one that I'm wearing right now, which is Coachella Coral. So let me go ahead and pull that out, and I'll do a little swatcherino on the back of my hand so you guys can see it. So it's a really bright coral lipstick. It's almost like a rosy toned coral. Love this. Really bright, really fun and happy. And another thing I like about it is that it's less of like a summer coral. It's definitely a coral that you could wear in the fall time. So I really, really like this. Love the name. The next one I picked up is called Penelope Pink, and it's a beautiful nude. Go ahead and do a little swatcherino for that. It's a little bit warmer of a nude that I would normally pick up, but to me this color almost reminds me a little bit of MAC Blankety. Maybe a little bit less cool toned than Blankety. Maybe a little bit like Teddy. Love this color. And another thing is that Penelope is kind of an inside joke for me and my husband. He, if you guys have ever seen that movie Club Dread, the guy calls the woman Penelope, and her name is Penelope, and my husband calls me Penelope. So I had to get Penelope Pink. And this last one is called Bitch Perfect. Love, love the name. I had to get it for the name. I was like, I don't even care if I don't like that lipstick. I'm getting that. And as it turns out, I freaking love it. So this is Bitch Perfect. It's really, really that perfect, your lips but better kind of color. It's almost nude, but it's a little warmer, a little pinker than a nude lipstick. And definitely next to Penelope Pink, you can see that it's a little bit more bright, but next to Coachella Coral, you can see that it is definitely in the more like natural type category. So Bitch Perfect is one that I highly recommend. My friend Samantha picked one up. I think it's so beautiful. It's such a great color and it looks good with so many different, in fact I had to like stop myself from wearing it today because I've been wearing it a lot lately. So yeah, I definitely recommend those. And then the last thing that I picked up from Charlotte Tilbury is another of the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blushers. I got this in Love Glow and I do like it. This is a lot more frosted than the first one that I got. The first one that I got was called First Love, and you guys know I loved it. I raved about it. I love it still. I think it's fantastic. The texture just blew my mind, how it was like luminous but not frosty. So when I picked this one up, you know, if I had seen it in person first, I probably wouldn't have picked it up because it's so similar to NARS Orgasm. Like, seriously, they don't look exactly the same in the pan, but on my skin they go on. Maybe this is a little bit lighter, but it's very frosted. It's a peachy pink, and it's a lot more frosty compared to the other shade. So these aren't all the same, so I'm kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. Still, it's, you know, it's beautiful, and it's a little tiny bit different, but not enough for me to really justify keeping it, unfortunately. This next item I picked up from Urban Decay about a month ago, and I've just been kind of checking it out, using it a little bit here and there. That's the Naked Basics 2 palette. So I was really excited when I heard about this because I heard it was going to be more of like the taupier colors versus the original Naked Basics, which I guess is supposed to be warmer. And this is definitely like a cooler, grayer, taupier type colors. One thing about this palette that displeases me versus the original one is the lack of highlight shades for very fair skin. Now, Skimp is pretty much a highlight shade for most people, and I think Stark might even be for medium to deep tones, but for fairer skin, nothing beats the original Naked Basics palette. I can use Foxy, I can use Walk of Shame, I can use these different colors, and they act as a highlight for me, whereas with this I end up having to pull something out to act as a highlight. That's not to say it's a bad palette or anything, but kind of the point of these is to just be able to do like a, you know, these are your basic colors that you're supposed to be able to pull from others. Whatever. I don't dislike it, it's just something I've noticed, and I do like this palette. I want to test it out more before I actually do like an actual review and all that stuff. And I haven't even properly swatched it yet because I kind of just opened it up and started using it. Bad blogger, bad blogger. And then the other thing that I picked up from Urban Decay, I think I've already shown you guys this, was the Mrs. Mia Wallace lipstick. I think this was one of my favorites last month, actually. Love, 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 love this. If it's still available, you've got to pick it up if you like deep red or bold red lipsticks. It's so, oh, it's so gorgeous. It's another one that I have to stop myself from wearing because I love it so much, and I'm so happy I picked it up. And then the final thing for this haul is the Vice 3 palette. Now, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm going to be doing a first impressions video and a swatch fest right after I'm done filming this. So just suffice to say, here's the palette. I hold it. It's here. It came this afternoon. I was so happy. And watch out for my swatch fest because that'll be up soon. So excited. I was actually good. I actually took photos of this one before I played with it. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about, this is, I know this video is already really long, but these were sent to me, and since this might be my last chance to do like a makeup haul before the end of October, I just thought I would include this. This is a new product from Milani. This is called the Constellation Gel Eyeliners. So this is kind of interesting. I would describe these more as like cream eyeshadow versus eyeliner because they're not completely opaque. So to me, gel eyeliner is something that's waterproof and like budge proof, and you know, it sets and doesn't move and everything. Whereas these are more like a cream type product. They're kind of interesting. They have a glitter overlay, and there is a little bit of glitter throughout, but after you get past that first layer, there's not as much glitter in them. So I do have swatches of all three colors here. So this first one is called Enchanted Emerald, and it's a really pretty deep forest green. If you guys hear some noises in the background, that's my chinchilla running around in his little wheel. The next color that I have swatched here is called Enchanted Black Opal, and it's a like kind of a space gray type color. It has a little bit of glitter in it, kind of almost like a silvery glitter once you get past that first layer. And then the last one is called Enchanted Lapis, and it's a really, really beautiful navy color with almost like a violet tone to it. Really fantastic, and I think that these would be so great for doing like a, you know, a nice smoky, creamy, smoky eye. But I don't know that I would actually use these as eyeliner because they are, you know, they're that cream texture. They don't really set, they don't really dry down to that budge proof finish. So if you were to do an eyeliner with them, they're just kind of, you know, get creasy and greasy and kind of rub away. So maybe not really what they're supposed to be, but I do think that they're beautiful, and they are, I mean, they look so, so, so pretty in the pan. I almost don't want to disturb it, you know? So kind of a cool product, definitely something that's usable. It's definitely, you know, it's not a bad product, but it's not maybe used in the way that people are thinking that they're going to be able to use them, because I've had these on my hand now for a minute and yeah, they blend out pretty good, which is really disappointing because I had hoped that they were going to be like gel eyeliner and that you could, you know, use these glittery eyeliners, and I don't know. And the other thing that they sent me, I'm really excited about, so they're going to be coming out with matte lipsticks, and I believe the matte lipsticks are actually going to be coming out later this fall or next year. I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but they did send me these two, which are, I think this is like a collection actually. So this is Enchanted Topaz and Enchanted Ruby. So Enchanted Topaz is a really pretty nude, actually not all that dissimilar from the Penelope Pink lipstick that I just shared with you, but it's very matte when you put it on, and I really love it. And then this next one is called Enchanted Ruby. And I don't think I've tried this one on my lips yet. So this is more of like a really, really berry type red. Really gorgeous colors for fall. I especially like the Enchanted Topaz. So these are really awesome. Definitely check these out. I'm so excited for them to come out with their full line of the matte lipsticks. I saw a little teaser on their Instagram, and I'm so excited. You guys know that the Milani lipsticks are some of my all-time favorite lipstick formula, period. And the fact that they're drugstore and they're inexpensive just makes it even better. So that will about do it for this huge, massive haul. Whew, was I ever hoarding things for a long time to do this one? I mean, seriously. So definitely check out my Vice 3 palette review or swatch fest that will be up in a couple of days. And that is it. I will see you guys in my next video. Remember to just be yourself. See you. Bye.